You know, we usually think of heaven and hell as these physical places we somehow travel to after we die. But ancient Buddhist philosophy, it offers this terrifyingly specific vision of the afterlife. And more importantly, it reveals the profound psychological engine that actually builds it. Welcome to The Explainer. Let's dive right in.
So when a person dies, their consciousness doesn't just instantly teleport to some final destination. Instead, it enters an intermediate state, known as the bardo, for exactly 49 days. During this time, the deceased faces 7 rigorous judges. We're talking one judge every 7 days, reviewing every single action of your past life to determine your ultimate destination. This is actually where the traditional 49th day memorial service comes from, where families pray for a favorable judgment. Depending on that final verdict, consciousness gets projected into one of the 6 realms of samsara. That's the continuous cycle of rebirth. You could end up in the heavenly realm, the human realm, the conflict-driven asura realm, the animal realm, the realm of hungry ghosts, or the hell realm. But today, we're really focusing our lens on the absolute darkest slice of this whole system.
If those judges determine you belong in the hell realm, you aren't just tossed into some generic fiery pit. The architecture here is astoundingly complex. There are exactly 136 highly specific hells. Yeah, 136. These aren't random torture chambers either. They're meticulously tailored to exact worldly offenses, operating strictly on that universal principle of cause and effect, which we know as karma.
The foundation of this terrifying system is made up of the 8 hot hells and the 8 cold hells, and they escalate in severity the deeper you go. For example, the hot hells kick off with the reviving hell. Here, inhabitants suffer lethal injuries only to be constantly revived to experience it all over again. And this descent goes all the way down to the absolute bottom, the Avici or Mugan hell. Mugan literally translates to without interruption. In this specific hell, the suffering is absolute. It literally never pauses, not even for a fraction of a second.
And the karmic retribution is incredibly specific. The punishment perfectly mirrors the crime. Like, if you spent your life violently assaulting others, your experience in hell involves being endlessly beaten and crushed. Or, say your primary sin was deceiving people with malicious lies, while your specific hell involves having your tongue severed and molten iron poured into your mouth. You reap exactly what you sow. It's the ultimate, inescapable law of self-earned consequence.
But wait, this brings us to a really fascinating cliffhanger. You see, in foundational Buddhist philosophy, there is no single omnipotent God sitting on a throne, jotting down your daily sins in a ledger and actively handing out these punishments. So, if there's no external cosmic judge keeping score, where is all this incredibly detailed karmic data actually stored? Who on earth is keeping track of the 136 different ways you might need to be punished?
Well, that brings us to the mind's cosmic hard drive, the Alaya Vijnana.
In the Yogacarya school of Buddhism, this is known as the Storehouse Consciousness, and this is where the philosophy turns into incredibly advanced ancient psychology. Think of Alaya Vijnana as your mind's ultimate, infinite cloud storage. It sits way down deep beneath your everyday waking consciousness. Now, the Alaya Vijnana itself is completely neutral. It doesn't judge you, it doesn't get angry, it certainly doesn't reward you. It's essentially just a blind, automatic recording device. It simply saves every single thing you do, every word you speak, and every fleeting thought you have, compressing all this data into what Buddhist texts call karmic seeds.
So, here's the crucial step-by-step process of how this operating system works. Your worldly actions, whether they're driven by ignorance or wisdom, serve as the raw input. This data gets uploaded and stored in the Alaya Vijnana as data processing. Then, just like a tiny seed resting in the soil, it waits. When the environmental conditions are just right, like the moment of transition after death, those accumulated seeds sprout. They literally project your ultimate reality as an output. So if you've uploaded a lifetime of violent, angry data, your Storehouse Consciousness compiles that exact code and projects the burning environment of one of those 136 hells.
This completely flips our entire understanding of reality. We constantly assume the physical world around us, and by extension, destinations like heaven and hell, are objective, physical places we travel to. But according to the concept of Alaya Vijnana, they aren't external at all. They are merely holographic projections generated by our internal Storehouse Consciousness. That hell with a molten iron, it isn't a physical cavern somewhere beneath the earth. It's a nightmare generated by the corrupted source code of a guilt-ridden, angry mind.
Let's look at the famous story of Wanyo and the skull water.
To truly grasp this mind-bending concept, we have an incredible historical anecdote about the legendary 7th century Korean monk from the Silla dynasty, Wanyo.
The story goes that monk Wanyo was traveling to China to study Buddhism. Caught in a really severe rainstorm, he sought shelter in what he assumed was a dark cave. During the night, gripped by intense thirst, he groped frantically around in the pitch black until his hands found a smooth bowl filled with water. He drank it down fast, and it tasted like the most delicious, sweet, refreshing water of his entire life. He went back to sleep completely satisfied. But when the morning light broke, the cave was actually revealed to be an ancient tomb. And his smooth bowl? It was a rotting human skull filled with stagnant, bug-infested rainwater.
Upon seeing this horrifying reality, Wanyo immediately vomited. I mean, who wouldn't? But right in that visceral moment of absolute disgust, something clicked. He achieved sudden, profound enlightenment. He realized this exact truth. When mind arises, all things arise. When mind ceases, all things cease.
Think about the mechanics of what just happened there. The physical water inside that skull never changed. It was the exact same stagnant liquid in the dark as it was in the morning light. The only thing that shifted was the data processing in his Alayavajana. When his mind thought it was clean water, his reality was a refreshing drink. When his mind saw the rotting skull, his reality became sickening. This proved to Wanhyo that heaven and hell are absolutely not physical locations, they are entirely states of mind, constructed by our own consciousness.
This realization is the absolute master key to understanding the cycle of suffering. It works like a timeline. Your past actions write the foundational code for your present. Your present cravings generate new data, and this new data compiles to create your future rebirth. It's just this endless loop of uploading bad data and experiencing bad outputs.
The ultimate takeaway from this explainer is incredibly empowering, and honestly kind of daunting, because there is no external judge forcing you into one of those 13 hells, and because your Storehouse Consciousness is blindly recording everything you do, well, you are the absolute sole architect of your reality. Your mind is the builder. The only way to avoid generating those 136 hells is to actively rewrite your source code. Buddhist teachings boil this down to a simple but really profound formula. Number 1, avoid doing evil. Stop generating corrupted data. Number 2, cultivate good actions. Upload positive, helpful data into your Alaya Vijnana. And number 3, purify your own mind. Basically, clear your cache, let go of attachments, and recognize the illusion of these projections. So I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder as you go about your day. Look at your daily habits, your sudden flashes of anger, or your moments of kindness. If your mind is a cosmic hard drive that literally never deletes a single file, and that data will inevitably project your future reality, what exact code are you writing right now?